Morning, Lalit and Mahinda. Hope you guys done with HTML and CSS. So have you finished HTML and CSS? What we have in the YouTube channel. I already uploaded the sessions. And after that, we have to move to the JavaScript. Hope everybody done with your HTML and CSS. Meet Mahinda. Have you finished it? So we already done with the HTML concepts and we done with the CSS concepts. I already uploaded in the YouTube also. So there is a video called Complete HTML. There is a video called Complete CSS. You just follow that. Okay. So now today we are going to be discussing about the JavaScript. JavaScript is major important pillar. Major important pillar for web pages. It means JavaScript is basically browser interpreted programming language. JS, let me write like a JS. JS is browser interpreted programming language. And JS is simple, so we not to worry about the JS. And one more thing is JavaScript and Java both are different programming languages. JavaScript and Java both are different programming languages. Okay, so basically Java is object oriented and server-side programming language. And one more thing is Java is compiled programming language. And coming to the JavaScript is simply interpreted programming. So later we will discuss about what is compilation, what is interpretation. Interpreted programming. And JavaScript is browser interpreted programming. One more point, JavaScript is object oriented nowadays. Object oriented like TypeScript. So this is highly demanding nowadays. TypeScript. It's a TypeScript is basically a superset of JavaScript. On top of the JavaScript, TypeScript was implemented. TypeScript is the most important library for Angular, even for the React also nowadays. And TypeScript is object oriented and typed. Basically, for JavaScript, there is no data types actually. We have to give the var keyword, we have to give the let keyword, const keywords like that. A global keywords we are using to define a data type. But now JavaScript have some type defined using the TypeScript. That is very famous nowadays. You will see one class for the TypeScript or few classes for the TypeScript. And now the important thing, JavaScript is open source. Open source. What is the meaning of open source here? For any programming language, it will support. For Java, it will support. For .NET, it will support. PHP, it will support. For Python, it will support. For Ruby, it will support. Any kind of backend programming you take, JavaScript is in the part of it. And one more point, JavaScript is general purpose. General purpose. It means what? See, JavaScript used for web application developments. And JavaScript nowadays used for mobile application development. And nowadays JavaScript is used for gaming applications. And JavaScript is used for blockchain applications. And JavaScript is used for artificial intelligence. Okay, so JavaScript is available for desktop application development. See, there are multiple kind of applications you can able to develop using the JavaScript. That is why reason I called as JavaScript is general purpose. And one more point, JavaScript is browser independent browser dependent program. JavaScript is browser independent program. It means for all the browsers, JavaScript will support. You take a Chrome, you take a Firefox, okay, you take a Safari, and you take Opera, and you take MS Edge. See, any browser you take, the JavaScript will work for. So JavaScript have no restrictions. JavaScript have no restrictions for any kind of browser. That is why reason JavaScript is called browser independent, comfortable for all the browsers, execute for all the browsers. JavaScript is general purpose. It means it will support for development of applications like web and mobile, even gaming, even blockchain, even artificial intelligence, even desktop application. Wherever you go, JavaScript is available. Okay, so please try to remember it. And now the very important thing is where we can write JavaScript. Where we can write JavaScript in HTML or how to integrate. There are two questions, the same questions. Answer is same. How to integrate JS for HTML. Question is different, but answer is same. Question is different, but answer is same. This is the very important question for freshers interview question. For fresher interview question, not for experienced interview question. Fresher interview question: how to write JavaScript for your HTML, and where you can implement the JavaScript, and what are the different kind of types you have to implement or you have to inject the JavaScript for your HTML. The types of JavaScript for HTML. See, the answer is same. The questions are actually different ways, but answer is same. Answer is same. Answer is common. JavaScript injected for HTML in following ways. Following ways. What are the following ways? The one is the inline JavaScript, inline JS we can write. One is internal JS we can use. And one more is external JS also we can use. External JS. See, there are multiple ways you can able to inject your JavaScript or your HTML. There are multiple ways. One is the inline JS. Yeah, you can utilize inline JS and you can utilize internal JS or you can utilize external JS also. There are multiple ways. Okay, now we try to understand what is this inline JS and how to implement inline JS. And what is this internal JS? How to implement it? What is this external JS and how to implement the external JS also? So one by one we will see. Let's try to continue with the inline JS, internal JS, and external JS. Let me go with the internal inline JS first. How to implement inline JS? Inline JS is element specific JavaScript. Inline.js is element specific JavaScript. It means, for example, in our web page, if I'm having or if we have 1,000 elements, then 1,000 times I need to, or 1,000 times we need to implement JavaScript. 1,000 times we need to implement JavaScript. So 1,000 times, for example, element one is something like h1. Element one is something like h1. Element two is something like a form. Element three is something like a table. Okay. For each and every element, we try to give the JavaScript injected. So I need to inject the JavaScript as event here. So here, note point here, JS integrated as event. Here JS integrated as event. Okay. For example, for H1, I want to go for the click event, like on click. On click is equal to I need to implement some JS code inside. In open tag only, you need to write attributes. Okay. For this, I want to go with the on double click, on DBL click. Double click means on DBL click. On DBL click is equal to, again, I can write some JS. Okay. So practically, we will see all these things. Don't worry. For this one, on mouse over, if I do something like a mouse over on top of the table, I can write some JS code for that. Okay, let me change the color and all. When I hover on the table, I need to change the background, or I need to change some font style. Whatever you want, you can try to implement as JavaScript. But when you do the event, for all the different kind of elements, we have to provide an event. So just clearly observe this. Inline.js is element specific JavaScript. Inline.js is element specific JavaScript. It means what element by element you can implement. In our web page, if I have 1,000 elements, then 1,000 times we need to implement the JavaScript. That's it. 1,000 times, 1,000 elements, 1,000 times. For each and every element, JS separately integrated. For each and every element, here I need to implement some JS. This JS is available only for this H1, not for the form, not for the table. And here I'm trying to implementing some JS code. This JS code is only for form. And here also I'm trying to implement some JS code. This JS code is only for table. Remember, you have 1,000 elements or you have 2,000 elements, 2,000 times you need to write a JS. That is not good in the real time. That is not good in the real time. But sometimes if you want to fire an event, whenever you are loading the body, you need to launch a kind of a prompt message. See, some websites you observe, when you launch the website for first time, they are going to be giving a prompt message to you. They are actually taking your phone number and email ID or your contact details. They will store in the database for the further contacts. They will contact you further based on that particular number or email. You're getting number of times emails and you're getting number of times calls based on your data given. See, that is the business technique. How the prompts are actually taking your data, how the prompt is coming when you launch the website. The prompt is coming with the body onloading. When HTML body is loading, one event is firing called onload. But when body is onloading, some alert box is coming for the particular user. For the particular user. I will show how this inline JS will work. I will show how this inline JS will work now. Let me go. Here it is clear. Mahendra and Amit. Here it is clear how inline.js is working for the HTML web page. In HTML web page, if you have 1,000 elements, 1,000 times it will go and implement this. Amit, I can't able to hear you, and Mahendra, I can't able to hear you. Please respond with me. Yes, right. Try to. Let me go. Okay, so here I can go for the JS now, and I will create the nodes. Okay, I will share the notes today, and I will keep all the notes in the GitHub, and I will share the notes. Don't worry. all the programs and I will share all the notes with you. It's not a big deal. The notes, right? Save it. Now let me take a new program here. I hope this font is visible like this. I'm writing the font very big. Take a new program. And let me go inside the JS folder, inline.js. Inline.js.html. Every file is HTML file only. Okay, so let me go for the HTML. And inside the HTML, we have two sections. One is the header section, one is the body section. And come to the body section. Inside the body section, I try to take multiple elements. Let me take a button. Click me. Let me take a img. Yes, also. An image also I'm taking. Okay, now I'm trying to implementing events. For body, I'm trying to implementing an event called onload. Onload, I want to show a prompt message. Prompt, enter your name. And let me save this one. Where name is equal to. Where name is equal to. Okay, let me show the alert box. Your name is. Your name is. And comma. Okay, that's it. Let me give the space also. So I'm writing two JavaScript methods here, two JavaScript functions here. The first function is the prompt function. What prompt will do, what alert will do, later concepts you can understand, but try to understand. I'm writing some JS code, which is having two lines code. The first line of the code is prompt message. It will take user input. Whatever the user entered the name, that name got stored with the variable called name. And whatever the value got stored in the name, that will be presenting in the alert box here. That will be presenting in the alert box here. Your name is something. For example, if I entered a name called Srini, please enter name. First prompt box will come. When prompt box will come, I entered some name like a Srini. When I entered a name called Srini, that stored into the name variable. And immediately that name variable can be utilized in the alert box. And the next line is alert box. Alert box will execute for you. When alert box is getting executing, your name is Srini. That's it. Your name is Srini. Just try to execute it. I don't have something. Only the body onload event will work now. Can you see and observe? Onload event got executed. Body onload event got fired. Some JS is firing. Some JS is firing. Some JS is executing from your body level. Am I right or wrong? Some JavaScript is executing. Some event is firing from the body level. That is something like an alert box. But basically, alert boxes and prompt boxes will come from the window, not for the body. That is a DOM structure. Later, we will discuss about the DOM structure. But right now, I entered some name like a Srini. If I entered a name like a Srini, immediately alert box, the name is something. Name should come. Okay. So let me go with the concatenation. Let me go with the concatenation. Maybe that is Python. Okay, Srini. And your name is. Srini. So the first one is a prompt message. Prompt will take input from the user. And alert is actually giving simple alert message for the user. Prompt is basically giving some prompt, but alert is giving some alert box. The two things we will have. Am I clear this one? Now, when I click on the button, I need to do something. When I click on the button, I need to do something. So for button, I want to give the event. See, observe one thing. For each and every element individually, I need to write JavaScript. Alert. Let me go with alert box only. And you clicked on me. You clicked on me. So see something, observe here. For on-click attribute, I am giving double quotes. For on-click attribute, I am giving double quotes. Just observe one thing. For on-click attribute, I am giving double quotes. As a starting point, as an ending point. Starting point and ending point, I am giving double quotes for the on-click. But when you provided a double quotes for this on click, and alert also needed some quotes. Alert also needed some quotes. Even alert needed single quotes or double quotes, but alert need to take only single quotes now. Why? Because the outer level I am giving double quotes. When you give double quotes outer level, for on click you are giving double quotes now. Then you have to give the single quotes inside for the alert. You have to provide the different quotes. But JavaScript strings need to allowed, or values can be allowed with the single quotes and double quotes both. But here in this case, you already given the double quotes outside. Don't give again double quotes inside. But alert basically allows single quotes and double quotes, but don't give double quotes again. Why? Because for on click already you given double quotes outside. If you give double quotes again, it will confuse. The function will confuse. Am I clear? Am I clear? You are giving double quotes already for the on click. Then don't give double quotes for alert box. For alert box, you have to provide single quotes. Is this clear? Understanding? Okay, let me try to give the double quotes here. When I try to provide the double quotes, obviously it will give the error. Error is already there. Already error is there. Already it is in the red color box. Already it is in the red color. Okay, let me give the one thing. So for on click, I'm giving single quotes. Now for alert, what kind of quotes I need to provide? You clicked on. For on click, I'm giving single quotes. Outside single quotes are available. For outside, single quotes are available. When outside single quotes are available, don't provide single quotes again inside. Inside, you have to provide a. Remember it. If you are providing double quotes outside, provide single quotes inside. If you are providing single quotes outside, then provide double quotes inside. See, this concept is a very simple topic and very important topic. In common sense, this is something like a common sense without getting errors in the real. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, then fine. So for image, I want to go for the image. Okay. I don't have the image right now. Just only two events I want to fire. One is the body on load and one is the button on click. So when I load this, just refresh it. And first of all, a prompt box will come. So let me give the name called Sanket. And your name is Saket. Okay. And when I click on the button, you clicked on me. You clicked on me. That's all. You clicked on me. That's all. One alert box actually got fired. When event got fired, some alert box came into it. When event got fired, some alert box came into it. So this is the way of writing a inline JS. Let me keep the program for you. Why? Because I will share the notes later. You can practice through the notes. Says inline JS .html file. See, I'm giving the notes and I'm giving the programs each and everything. Later, for practice purpose, it is helpful to you. The next one, internal JS. What about internal JS is? Internal JS is page specific JavaScript. Page specific JavaScript. Page by page, we have to implement JS separately. Page by page, we need to implement a JS separately. For example, if my web page, if my application having 15 pages, how many times I need to write JavaScript? If my application having 15 pages, 15 web pages, how many times I need to write JavaScript now? Then we can implement 15 times JS. So in this case, internal JavaScript, I'm not talking about the element. In this case, I'm not talking about the element. In this case, I'm talking about the page. My total web page, if I am having 15 pages, 15 times I need to write JavaScript. Page 1, separate JS. Page 2, separate JS. Page 3, separate JS. Page 4, separate JS. Previously, in the single page itself, if I am having hundreds of elements, 100 times we need to write JavaScript. That is element level. This is page level. Am I clear? That is element level. Previous one is element level, but this time it is a page level. Okay, so how to write this internal JavaScript? How to implement internal JS? How to implement internal JS? Very simple. The question is very simple. Inside your HTML web page, you have to write a script tag. Script tag open and script tag close. Script tag open and script tag close. But inside the script tag, I need to write some JS code. I need to write some JS code. Whatever the code you want, you can write it. But this particular JS block, this particular JS code should be executed for the total web page and should be getting involved with the total web page. Am I clear? For example, sir, my application having 4 web pages. Okay, let me have a home web page, contact us, or blog, whatever it is. Okay, so first dot HTML and second dot HTML. It may be have multiple HTML files, and third dot HTML and fourth dot HTML. Okay, my small web application, which is having only 4 web pages. For 4 web pages, I need to implement 4 times script tag. Am I right or wrong? How many times I need to write a script for this first web page? First web page, 1 script file, 1 script tag, and some JS. This JS related to the first.html. And some other script is going to be executing for the second HTML. For other third HTML, some other script. For fourth HTML, some other script. JS code according to the first. JS code according to the second. JS code according to the third. JS code according to the fourth. Am I clear, sir? This JS code is according to the first web page. Second script related to the second.html. Third script related to the third.html. Fourth script related to the fourth.html. Script is separate, which is going to be integrating for the different kind of HTMLs and different things. But my application having 4 web pages. This is kind of internal JS. Previously, we are discussing about inline JS, that is element level, element specific. But this time we are working on internal JS, page specific, page related JavaScript. Is this clear, everyone? Now the third one. Okay, let me try to implement the program for that. Okay, let me take a new internal JS.html. Okay, let me implement the script tag and alert internal JS loaded. Okay, simply I'm writing alert box. This is JS code. Inside the script, whatever we have, that will be the JS code. Okay. Let me execute it. Right click on this, open in the browser. Okay, simply I got alert box. Some JavaScript is executing, some JS is executing. That will be the internal JS loaded. Internal JS loaded. That was the internal JavaScript execution. And the third one is the most important one, that was called external JavaScript. Okay, let me write a program also for this. Internal JS.html. Sir, practice is most important. If you do practice well, then automatically the subject you can understand. But here we are not learning HTML and CSS. We are learning JavaScript. JavaScript is the core important point. On top of your HTML, CSS is there. On top of your CSS, JavaScript is there. See, the major agenda we have to understand as a front-end developer, as a full-stack developer, what is the thing is, on top of the HTML, CSS overlapped. On top of the HTML and CSS, On top of the HTML and CSS, JavaScript is overlapped. On top of all these things, there are multiple other kind of jQuery, Bootstrap, React. jQuery is there. On top of this, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. jQuery is there, React is there, Angular is there, Vue.js is there. If you want to learn advanced libraries or frameworks on top of the JavaScript, first of all, you should know the prerequisites like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So that was very, very important. Got my point? That is the reason you have to first you have to learn HTML and CSS very well, very well. After that, JS, focus on JS more and more time. More and more time you focus on JavaScript. When you focus on JavaScript very well, all these libraries are damn easy, or like a jQuery, like a React, like a Angular, or like a Vue.js or TypeScript, whatever it may be. All the JavaScript libraries and frameworks are very, very simple when you know JavaScript very well. That is the reason I'm telling to you. First, you focus on JavaScript. Practice well. Practice well. Watch many videos. I have a lot of videos in my channel. You go and watch all the videos for the JavaScript. That is most important thing.